So, just like every uninteresting person, during COVID, I got myself a hobby. I gave that hobby a name. That hobby's name was bragging rights. At the time of recording this, Mastodon's new album Marrow Deep is about a week away. I've been watching lots of content about the story leading up to that album, and it sort of got me even more excited than I normally would be, and kind of decided maybe I don't really let anyone else into this sort of personal side of this project, but maybe it would be interesting for some of you. Now, I don't get a lot of free time, so doing it during my dog walk is sort of perfect, because the time I get to write, despite putting out a lot of albums, is rare. I'm just very productive. And the first thing most people will say is, "You're ripping off that metal bloke," because I thought the exact same thing. But I don't have the time to write and arrange to set up lighting once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe once a month. And as for people who say you're copying someone else, how many people just record it in a room with good lighting? So yeah, it works for my free time and gives me a chance to talk about the new album. The best way I can talk about the brand new album is to introduce the brand new album, is to talk about the album that comes before it, and that was the album that came out this year, and it was called A Comedy Divine. Obviously that's a play on words from The Divine Comedy, one of my favourite books. That album's all about grief, and the grief was one of our dogs died, Flo. She went downhill in the night. There was no warning. First thing in the morning we went straight to the vets. They told her she had cancer in her blood, and we really didn't have any options, and we put her down. That very same day I came home and wrote all the music for the song Burden on that album. So if you want an idea of where my head was at during that album, you can listen to Burden and sort of hear the confusion of that song, I suppose. That entire album was about how empty everything felt, how much of a void she left behind. First track, Castaway, that was the first song I did vocals for, and I just put the headphones on and I just let it come out naturally, the first thing that comes to mind. And Castaway is the first time I really say goodbye, because it was so quick when we put it down, I didn't really get that chance. So Castaway is the first goodbye. Brave One was the song that was sort of singing about her memory, because she was the brave dog. She was the one that jumped into danger, and like the other one, which is half pug, so he pretty much just turns up as backup and a speed bump. Since then, we've been lucky enough to rescue another dog. His name's Spud, and from there, like, that hole's slowly been filled, albeit by a dog that is 1/5 the previous dog's size. Every track on that album was an ode to the dog, and just a reflection on the grief and the misery we were in. When I was putting out the press release, the tagline on the press releases was "Misery loves company," inviting you all to come in and experience the misery. Sorry. Now we pick up on a brighter note, and that is the brand new album. I finished this album back in February, mixed, mastered, produced, everything written and all ready to go, and I've just been sort of sitting on it because I knew A Comedy Divine was coming out. It's called The Rub. So this album is the next chapter. It's what comes after the grief, the misery, the void, the hole, the house that feels empty despite being full of people and another dog. And there's a very good reason for calling it The Rub, and it's not because I love Ainsley Harriott. There's more to it. I'm pretty sure every musician will understand this, or everyone who's creative. Once it was finished, the first thing I realised was, hey, this might be the best album I've written. But after a day of feeling, oh, well done, mate, pat yourself on the back, straight back to, it's so fleeting. You feel like Sisyphus, you know, he pushes that boulder all the way up the hill every day, and every day it rolls back down. The work is never really done. I feel satisfaction is just, yeah. And that's why I called it The Rub, because although I'd felt this for every single album I'd put out, this was the one time where it was most noticeable, because I really do think this is the best album I've done. But for the first time I thought like, oh wow, I've nailed this. I always thought that would feel exciting, but the truth is, it's the most hollow I've ever felt. I'm hoping that it connects with other people out there. I think everyone feels this, you know, there's always the need to top yourself, to go one further. Your best album, it never feels quite like your best. People might tell you it's good, but all you can do is see its flaws and see its shortcomings. Not that I'm doing the best job of talking it up, I will admit. Every year I kind of put out 2 albums, sometimes I've even put out 3. And this year I was going to sit on this album, I was going to be really, really smart. I was going to plan it out, I was going to wait. But as soon as I start working on the promotional side and the music videos that I shoot in my kitchen, hashtag broke, I start to realise that I want to put it out now. I want to put it out in November. I want to get this monkey off my back, so to speak. And that's more me. I don't really care what the right thing to do is when making music is your own personal, it's what you want to do with it. It's how you feel. Nobody can tell you it's wrong because it's yours and it is personal. And releasing 2 albums a year, like, it's just something I do. So here's me putting you all on notice that I'll be putting out this album in November. I haven't quite picked the date. I will update. Until then, if you check the shorts, there will be little sneak peeks of the videos I'm editing together currently. You'll see a teaser, what will be the first single off this album, which is called Burn All Boats. And I think that really will set the tone for the whole album. Oh no, there's a swarm of people walking behind me, how embarrassing. Oh. Not to sound like a walking cliche, but this is by far the heaviest single I've ever put out. Because I said so. And because everyone says so. And because every band says that, so I'm saying that. So hopefully next week I'll be able to post an update about the album's date of release, when the first single will be out, and more importantly where you can get it. So until then, I'll see you soon.